My next guest beat Kai Kamaka in the second round via ground and pound and picked up his first official UFC victory. And of course, it is JSP, Jonathan Pearce. Jonathan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for the time. Happy to have you on the show. You were just telling me before we went live, you have a boot now. Does this mean you're going to be on
Yeah,
the show for a while?
I got to wear a boot for 3 weeks. No like serious injuries, but I got a lot of people hitting me up wanting to fight right now, and I want to get back in there after this, after this big win and do it again. But I gotta sit on the bench for 3 weeks, and then I'm back at it.
So will you be able to do cardio and get any type of work in at all? Or are you just going to try and take
Well,
this time to
I've
relax?
always had insane cardio. Like I feel like if anybody I fight, I probably definitely got that aspect over on them. But for the most part, I just want to improve and move around, and I enjoy fighting, so I want to continue to do that as long as I can. But for the next 3 weeks, I'll probably just read, hang out. It's the holidays, and enjoy it, and you know, enjoy the time off because you don't get a lot of time off.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, tell me, man, what did it feel like to get that first official UFC win? Just tell me what your emotions are like, because I got to imagine it's a lifelong dream realized. It's got to feel pretty darn good.
Man, it just felt like I was right where I needed to be. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else at the moment, and just ready to go back in there and do it again. I felt like it was long overdue. I wanted to do that to Lauzon back in Boston, and then had to have a year-long recovery after that. So that's how I'm trying to get back on a quick fight and just get out there and show them how much better I really am than that last performance.
So tell me, what was the game plan going in against Kai? It was a very close first round. You guys went at it, went back and forth. Just tell me, what were you trying to do in there, implementing that first round?
Um, I knew he was going to come out hot, and he's going to have that Tyson style with the big 2 3s. And I was watching him go to the body and kind of hurting people. And I knew cutting out of 45, I might not be as thick and I might not be able to take as much. So I wanted to let him run himself out. I got him hooked in the first round, didn't want to break the line, let him run a little bit, and then put it on him towards the end of the late round and secure that first round, but mostly don't take any damage. And then go into that second round 100 miles an hour, because at that point I had found my rhythm. I'd have 5 minutes to fill this guy out, know what his tendencies are, and then I started really sitting down on my punches and like different things like that. But for the most part, I felt like I controlled the fight. I just felt like he was going to be better in different areas that he wasn't. Like, he was a little bit better in his striking and not as good in his wrestling. I thought I was going to be able to use my striking, open up for my wrestling, but my wrestling was open up for my striking. So I just had to put all that together.
Yeah, and it was a great performance. What did your corner tell you after the first round? Did they think that you won the first round, and what were they telling you to go in there and do in round two?
I don't remember that sitting on the bench, actually, but I remember him being like, you got to go out there and implement the game plan. You're doing good. You're doing good right now. You're doing what we asked, but we probably didn't get that first round. It's too close. Let's just say we didn't get it, and then go out there and go for it this round. And I knew he was going to get tired on 5 days' notice, so I really was trying to implement the wrestling as early as possible. And then once that fatigue set in, then I was going to go for the finish.
Run me through that finish, man, because you had him hurt, and it was a great finish. You really put it on in there in that second round.
It was back and forth. I get on top, he'd get on top, I get back on top, but I was controlling it and getting it down. So I knew that I was in the leader of the dance. And once I got on top that last time, I was like, man, I can't keep going for these chokes. I'm running out of time. And then Dan Mergolotti said, you got to do something, bottom man. And then that's when I tried to crank it up to 10 and hit him as hard as I can, turn those punches over, and then they just stopped it.
Did you think that the referee got there in time? Do you think he should have stopped it a little bit sooner? Did that cross your mind?
No, I think he stopped it at a good time. I think if he would have went to the third round, I would have definitely slapped him. So it was probably a good thing it didn't go to the third round. But at the same time, I usually maul them. I'll hit them, I'll rock them. If you go back and watch Contender, I hit them, I'll rock them with the uppercut or something. and then I'm not quite on him again. So I hit him like 100 more times while their days like that. So I think anytime they want to stop it, they can stop it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I thought Kai was out, man. And I really felt like maybe the ref could have stepped in there even a little bit sooner and stopped the fight. Cause I thought maybe you landed a couple extra shots, or at least one that maybe he shouldn't have taken. Did you think that at all?
No, I mean, I felt like in that position, like if you watch that back, he posts up and like slaps his hand on the mat because he's frustrated and he can't do nothing. So he could have tapped, you know, like Kai could have tapped. But I think that was perfect reffing, stoppage of the fight. I think that was awesome.
Now you got snubbed for this bonus, my man. How did that make you feel? I mean, another 50K would have been nice.
It would have been nice, but I got more work to do, you know. So take it as a lesson, and you know, I came out unscathed. I didn't have any stitches or anything. I just got to wear this boot for 3 weeks. So for the most part, like this was all in all a really good win for me, and I've learned a lot even in the win. Got experience. Got to fight on the main card. So you know, I'll take it. You know, it's all right.
I was surprised to see that you were a significant underdog in this fight. Did that give you any added motivation? Does that kind of stuff bother you at all?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the fact that he was a younger fighter with the race car coming in on a 6-fight win streak, just like I was on Lauzon, and he didn't know he was about to total that bad boy in 2 days. So, you know, that's kind of what happened to me when I fought Lauzon. So it's you know, you get experience through the game, and I felt like that's one thing going into this fight. I knew because like facing him off, I could tell like he wasn't like about it like I was. I wanted to be out there more than he wanted to be out there.
Yeah, and you mentioned Joe Lauzon. I obviously wanted to ask you about that. You went in there, you lost him. That's my hometown, my home area. I'm from New England, and obviously he's been one of them guys that's been around the game for a very, very long time. What did you take from that? I mean, look, moving forward here, when you look back at that fight, like what are the lessons that you took from that here moving forward?
You know, I fought a veteran, and you should never compare yourself to somebody else, but it's just a test at the end of the day. I took it real hard because I thought that I was really going to go in there and win. I thought he was going to perform like he had been performing, but he took a lot of time and did the right things that he needed to do to win that fight, and I didn't. And then I implemented them in my next training camp. You know, like I tore my shoulder. I was training back before May, and I had my shoulder surgery in October, and then I fought here, you know, Thanksgiving weekend. So I had been training for a long time for this fight. So like that's what I learned from it. You know, if you can't beat the best, then join them. You know, and that's what I feel like a lot of younger fighters need in their career. They need some guidance to make them to the elite that they can be, the best that they can be.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of those guys that you have around you right now that you're really learning from and using their experience to help you get better?
Frankie's one of them. He's pulling up right now to the gym, and Henry Corrales is one of my buddies. He fights for Bellator. He knocked Aaron Pico out like maybe a half year or a year I've been here, and I like was training with him for the whole camp and stuff like that. So I really got to learn from these guys and learn what I need to do and implement it into my game.
Yeah, Henry just beat Brandon Gertz, man, and I got a lot of respect for Brandon Gertz. That guy's is a stud. Did you get a chance to talk to Henry at all afterwards? How pleased was he with that win?
Oh man, he wants to just knock everybody out, man. He's a savage. He's the same way he is in a fight in the gym all the time. That's why I love training with him. Like I know every time we're going. There ain't no 50%, you know. So he always keeps you honest, and that's what you need in your teammates and stuff like that. And he's a great teammate to have. And I'm blessed to be out here to fight ready. You know, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal camp to be at right there. Now, obviously, you were supposed to fight Sean Woodson originally. He had to pull out, and so Kai Kamaka stepped in. How did that affect your game plan or just your mindset going into this fight? Because it's a very different type of opponent. Woodson's very long and lanky.
Yeah, I went from a 6'2" boxer to a 5'7" wrestler. So it did change a lot, but what I learned from that is like I studied Sean Woodson, and I saw he liked to sit back on those knees, and then he would throw the body kick. And I kind of know the same thing. You know, I'm a taller fighter, and that's why I wanted to go down to 45 anyways and pressure these guys to fight. You know, throw over their head, they start moving their head, see their tendencies, and put something big behind it. So that was what I did for this camp. I did what Sean Woodson was going to try to do to me to this guy. So that's what was cool about it. And it was a quick change up, but you know, I was happy with everything. I think I would have beat either guy that night. I was on top of my game. At this point, do I think I would take a rematch with him? I think I'd be going down if I did that. I'd be going back in my career, like backwards in the direction I'm trying to go. I think he's a game opponent. Like, yeah, I would take it, but I did train 6 weeks for this fight, and then no fight with him. You see what I'm saying? 1 week out. So, like, that puts me in a position where now I might have to fight a Lauzon or a different guy like that. So, you know, this is my career too, and I'd like to fight somebody like Rosa, Charles Rosa, or I have another guy in my inbox. His name's Darren Minner. So any of those guys, you know, I'm sure there's more that are out there that want me to turn around. But like I said, I need 3 weeks. I got to stay off my foot, and then I'm back in there.
I like that Charles Rosa call out. Has he been active? Has he said anything about maybe wanting to fight you?
So back to the Lauzon fight, that was an offer. They gave me a 45 offer and a 55 offer, and that was my offer. And I thought, well, I got in at 55. I fought my last 8 fights at 55. I was 6-fight win streak at 55. So I was like, why would I change anything? Everything's working. And when something doesn't work, I'll change it. And then that night, I lost the Lauzon, and then I decided that, okay, maybe it is best for me to cut 45, and now I'm at 45 finishing guys. So it's like a completely different conversation now, and I'll be fighting, say, Lauzon or Rosala is the guy I was supposed to fight in the first place.
How would a fight with you and Rosa end? Do you think you'd finish him?
Yeah, I mean, you never know what happens in a fight. Like, you know, I thought I'd beat Lauzon like every time I fought him, but then he beat me that 1 out of 10 times. So there's always that, you know, you're rolling the dice. There's always that chance, but that's why you train extra hard to not give them that chance. And I think I'll finish this dude. I think I do it just as good as the last one, if not better.
For sure. Now,
I think that's how a lot of my fights are going to go now. You know, I'm in the place I wanted to be. I got a good shoulder now. So I feel like there's nothing stopping me but me.
You definitely have a lot of people excited to see you climb back into the octagon again soon. I did want to just ask you too about that move down to 145. How have you had to change just your diet and your lifestyle? Is it an easy cut for you?
It's a relatively easy cut, and I'm a big 45. I think I can get bigger. I'm just not like as short as some of these other guys that like Volkanovski's shorter, so he can pack on the weight, you know. But with that, you know, styles come fights. So I feel like, you know, I'm on my way to being a bigger 45 than I already am, and then one day going back up to 55. You know, but right now it's an easy cut. Like, I only went down over like 12 or 14 pounds. So
that's not bad. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. It's an easy cut for you, and that's a great weight class for you here moving forward, my man. Now, as far as the next fight time frame goes, you did say you're going to be in that boot for 3 weeks. Are you thinking, you know, maybe even January we could see you fight again next, or is it going to be a little bit longer than that?
I think if I want a better performance, I need to fight more in February, but I wouldn't be afraid to fight in January. I just need 6 weeks, a 6-week camp, and then I'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the win, man. That was a very impressive performance. Thank you so much for the time here today. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you want to thank or tell people to follow you on social media, the floor is yours.
You can find me at JSP MMA, JSP baby, woo. I would like to thank everybody at Fight Ready. I'd like to thank Casey Oxendine in Johnson City, Tennessee. I'd like to thank everybody who prepared me. You know, my wrestling coaches, all of it's added up to this point. I've been doing this for 16 years. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there. And all my sponsors, you know, Fairtex, Thor, Manscaped, got the Manscaped right here. So I'd like to thank everybody, and, I'll see y'all soon.